Hi, so this is going to be where you research your taxes for the year. So you, again, are going to be doing this twice, once with a spouse and once without. And then you have to decide which of those situations is when you would rather pretend to have a kid. At least you have to have at least one kid in one of those situations again. So as of right now, this is my no spouse situation and I am choosing to have a kid at that point. Um, so I'm going to say at this point, I'm going to be single, and number of dependents is going to be the number of kids that I have. So this number should be the same as this number. That can actually change in life, but for the purposes of this project, that's the way we're going to do this. So again, just like before, this is a link. I'm going to click that, and it's going to open in a new tab. And so it's going to ask you some of the things that you just filled out. So the first thing, this is again was my single situation. If you're doing this again, just make sure that you're going to, the other option here is married filing jointly. For the other situation, it's the same thing on the Google slide file. I'm not going to give students the option of doing this because there are other different situations on when you would want to file separately and when you're filing as a head of household. So I'm going to keep this single one. I'm going to hit next. This is my salary, so you're going to type that in there. If you're not remembering, just flash back to your other screen just so you can kind of grab that number again. So I'm going to type that in. Here we go. We're going to keep this as the default age. Um, Age doesn't really have an impact on your taxes until you're getting close to retirement. So we're just going to keep it as this default 35 age. Again, the number of dependents should be the number of kids. So if you just forgot, just flip back a screen quick and type in that number. And we want to keep this as general as possible. So we're going to leave this default 0. Um, we're going to leave the traditional IRA default 0. We're going to keep, this should autofill with whatever deduction, standard deduction that you selected. So when you do this again for the married, filing jointly, this should default to that number because of that earlier selection. And we're going to pretend that we have not withheld any taxes throughout the year, so we get the most general of what we would owe in total. So at that point, I'm going to keep this as 0, and I'm just going to hit done. And now this red number right here is in theory what a person would owe with the information that I typed in. So that's pretty much it. And then you're going to grab that number and you're going to just type that back in right there in that last yellow box. That's pretty much it. Thanks.